From the desperate defense of Busan's perimeter to the legendary dogfights over the Yalu River, the skies of Korea were a battlefield like no other. This is a definitive catalog of U.S. aviation in the Korean War, the aircraft, the heroes, and the kills that shaped history. Let's start with the fighters and attack aircraft. F-51D Mustang, the legend returns. Built date 1943 to 1945. Produced 15,000 plus. Role, fighter and ground attack. Notable pilots: Lieutenant Colonel John C. Meyer, Major James McDevitt. Kill list: 4 confirmed MiGs, countless ground vehicles. Resurrected from the National Guard to defend Korea, the F-51D was slower than jets but unmatched in ground attack. Carrying napalm and rockets low through valleys, Mustang pilots turned Korea's hills into infernos of destruction. F-82 Twin Mustang, Double Trouble. Built date 1945 to 1946. Produced 273. Role, night fighter and interceptor. Notable pilots: Captain William G. Leckie. Kill list: 1 MiG-15, first jet kill of the war. 2 fuselages, 1 radar, and history in the making. The F-82 fired the first air-to-air kill of the Korean War, a North Korean Yak-11, proving the piston era still had teeth. F-40U-4 Corsair, Whistling Death. Built date 1942 to 1945. Produced 7,860. Role, fighter and close air support. Notable pilots: Major Gregory Pappy Boyington, Lieutenant Commander John W. Shoemaker. Kill list: 6 MiGs, 100 plus ground targets. From carrier decks to Korean valleys, the Corsair's gull wings and lethal cannon made it a close air support nightmare for enemy troops. Even a jet couldn't escape the prop's wrath. AD-2 Skyraider, Flying Dump Truck. Built date 1945 to 1952. Produced 3,180, all variants. Role, ground attack and close air support. Notable pilots: Major Bernard F. Fisher. Kill list: destroyed multiple bridges, ammo depots, and tank columns. Massive payload, slow but deadly, the Skyraider could loiter hours over the battlefield, raining destruction with bombs, rockets, and cannons. P-80 Shooting Star, the Pioneer Jet. Built date 1944 to 1946. Produced 1,714. Role, jet fighter and ground attack. Captain James Jabara, future ace. Kill list: 1 MiG-15. America's first operational jet fighter saw its baptism in Korea. Too slow for dogfighting at first, it soon became a precise ground attack platform. F-86 Sabre, the definitive hunter. Built date 1949 to 1956. Produced 2,507 F-86F variants. Role, air superiority. Notable pilots: Major Joseph McConnell, Captain James Jabara. Kill list: 130 MiGs. The F-86F with its all-flying tail and improved engine dominated MiG Alley. American pilots turned high-G dogfights into a deadly ballet of speed and precision. F-9F Panther, the Navy's debut. Built date 1947 to 1954. Produced 1,389. Role, carrier jet and ground attack. Notable pilots: Neil Armstrong, future astronaut. Kill list: dozens of ground targets. Blue, stable, and reliable, the Panther became the backbone of the Navy's airstrike force, pounding North Korean supply lines from the carriers. Next, bombers and patrol aircraft. B-29 Superfortress, the heavy hitter. Built date 1943 to 1946. Produced 3,970. Role, strategic bomber and night bombing. Pilots: Colonel Paul W. Tibbets Jr., mission leader. Kill list: flattened industrial complexes, railway lines. The World War II atomic bomber returned for one last fight, devastating North Korea's infrastructure under the cover of night. B-26 Invader, the night intruder. Built date 1940 to 1945. Produced 5,288. Role, light bomber and night attack. Notable pilots: Major John A. Bullock. Kill list: convoys, trucks, and trains. Fast, low, and deadly, the B-26 hunted supply routes under darkness, leaving no escape for enemy logistics. P-2V Neptune, the hunter. Built date 1945 to 1962. Produced 223. Role, maritime patrol and anti-shipping. Notable pilots, Lieutenant Commander William P. O'Neill. From the Yellow Sea, the Neptune patrolled harbors and dropped mines, enforcing the naval blockade. Next, transports and liaison aircraft. C-47 Skytrain, Gooneyberg. Built date 1941 to 1945. Produced 10,000 plus. Role, transport and medical evacuation. Pilots, Captain Edward R. Meyer. Short dirt strips, mountains, and frozen rivers, nothing stopped the Gooney from flying in supplies and flying out the wounded. C-124 Globemaster II, Giant Old Shaky. Build date 1950 to 1955. Produced 139. Role, Strategic Heavy Airlift. Pilots, Colonel Richard E. Larkin. Tanks, artillery, and massive cargo, the Globemaster delivered the impossible directly into Korea's combat zones. LT-6G Mosquito, Forward Controller. Built date 1940 to 1944. Produced 15,000 plus. Role, Forward Air Control. Pilots, Major Kenneth R. Shibata. Flying low and slow, these brave pilots marked targets with smoke rockets, often under heavy enemy fire, turning airstrikes deadly accurate. And now start with helicopters. H-5 Dragonfly, the Rescuer. Built date 1945 to 1948. Produced 100 plus. Role, Combat Rescue. Pilots, Captain Henry H. Smith. One of the first combat helicopters, the H-5 proved men could be plucked from enemy lines, changing the face of search and rescue forever. H-13 Sioux, Angel of Mercy. Built date 1947 to 1956. Produced 1,500 plus. Role, Medevac and Observation. Pilots, Captain Joe McMillan. Iconic bubble canopy, skids loaded with wounded, the H-13 brought hope to frozen battlefields where no Jeep could reach. H-19 Chickasaw, the Heavy Lifter. Built date 1949 to 1961. Produced 430 plus. Role, Troop Transport and Supply. Pilots, Major William H. Arnold. Korea's first true transport helicopter, lifting troops and supplies into positions once thought unreachable. From the roar of corsairs to the whine of sabers, the courage of helicopter pilots to the strategic might of B-29s, the Korean War forged a new era of aviation. Every kill, every mission, every aircraft shaped the skies and the future of combat flight. Which of these legends defines Korea? The answer is above us, in the clouds and in the courage of those who flew.